On this video, I'm heading back to the beach, specifically Daytona Beach, to check out the 2024 Jeep Beach down in Daytona Beach, Florida. All right, let's get to it. Jeep Beach is an annual event that is typically held in the month of April in Daytona Beach, Florida. This year marks the 21st anniversary of the week-long event. While Jeep Beach is crafted so you can keep yourself busy during the week, you'll find most Jeepers spending their time relaxing along the historic shoreline. Think of this event sort of like Bike Week for Jeepers, but a little bit more family friendly. This year's event seemed a good bit smaller than what I experienced last year, which from an attendee standpoint isn't necessarily a bad thing, as the shoreline wasn't nearly as crowded. If you wanted to see where most of the action was taking place during the week along the shoreline, you simply needed to make your way down to the Hard Rock Hotel. There you'd find a DJ blasting tunes, games to participate in, and some of the top Jeep part vendors. Now, a quick note on Jeep part vendors. As so many parts manufacturers are being absorbed by larger corporations, it's unbelievably nice to be able to talk to a company that actually has the owner in attendance. We're talking about owner operators, companies such as Curry, Rock Crawler Suspension. These guys actually had their owners in attendance, which speaks volumes in how they feel it's important to stay in touch with their community. It was also pretty wild to see Rock Crawler's completely thrashed Ultra 4 two-door JL on hand. It had just taken a pretty wicked roll while racing the previous weekend. It was on hand driving, working fine. They're gonna go back and rebuild and do all that good stuff, but very much so a company that's dedicated to proving out their product and clearly some safety equipment. While there were plenty of very nice and practically built Jeeps on hand, part of the excitement of Jeep Beach is seeing some of the over-the-top rigs. This Jeep Gladiator built by Apocalypse 6x6 is a great example of that. Yes, both rear axles are functional as it uses a fabricated housing and a pass-through gear to send power to the rearmost differential. Instead of a Hemi swap, this JT actually was powered by the stock EcoDiesel V6. Aside from extensive bodywork that was all done in-house, it has a custom 6-inch suspension lift, 22-inch wheels, and massive 40-inch Nitto trail grapplers. While it's not exactly my cup of tea, I absolutely love that this monster exists. Speaking of unbelievable monsters, this is another standout Gladiator. It was built by America's Most Wanted 4x4 and is fit with a Demon 170 engine swap that makes 1,025 horsepower. As I understand it, this is the only Demon 170 swap Jeep Gladiator on the planet. It received AMW's 8-lug axle upgrade, a long arm suspension, and of course, my personal favorite trail tire, the 40x1350 R17 Nitto Trail Grappler. There were a lot of tasteful mods on this rig. I especially like how cleanly executed the bed bob was. Maybe my favorite over-the-top Jeep was this Wrangler built by Synergy Manufacturing. The wrap job, paint, powder coat was all on point and executed so well. This JK happens to be rolling on 26-inch wheels and 42s just for events like this. They actually have a separate set of trail grapplers on bead locks that they use for wheeling. So yes, those 8-lug axles aren't going to waste. This thing actually gets used. Talk about dual purpose. Synergy is a blast to hang around with. They've got a great owner and crew of guys over there. If you get a chance to talk to the Synergy guys at a show, absolutely make a point to do so. They are a lot of fun and they make some really great products. Now, aside from being able to drive on the beach, what makes Jeep Beach so unique is the fact that you get to go inside of the Daytona International Speedway. They host a 2-day show there, so Friday and Saturday are typically your dates for this. I love this part of it. They've got an obstacle course. Jeep is actually there allowing you to drive or really ride in some of their new Jeeps. If you want to test out yours, you have a handful of different line options for these obstacles that are man-made. It's fun. That's really what it is. There are a ton of vendors, lots of swag. It is a great way to spend some time. And even the parking lots are basically like Jeep shows. There's so many. They only let Jeeps inside of the show, this Jeep only parking. So you can go walk up and down and see just about every variation of a JL, Gladiator, Cherokee, you name it. It's pretty cool. The bad part for me is I got food poisoning, and unfortunately I missed all of the show on Friday, and I'll be honest with you, I was struggling to make it through on Saturday. I did stop by and see a few new products. One product that I was really excited about was this new Savvy Off-Road rear bumper. It gives you 10 inches of additional clearance. Yes, it does require trimming, but it's aluminum. It only weighs about 100 pounds. This is a rad option for a Gladiator. Also really cool for the Gladiator and Wrangler platform was this new battery relocation kit from Genesis. This actually puts your auxiliary battery in a place that you can get to it. If you're like me and just want to delete the auxiliary battery, they actually have multiple battery kits. So check out Genesis Off-Road. These guys know their stuff when it comes to electrical systems. In general, there are a lot of things to see and do at this show. There was even a side-by-side racing simulation that you could participate in. All this stuff is free. I love it. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to see everything that I wanted to and see all the vendors I wanted to, but that's just sometimes how it goes. Well, that's basically my Jeep Beach in a nutshell. For those of you curious, is this event worth attending? I think if you're a Jeep enthusiast, it's worth doing at least once. Whether you want to participate in all of the nightly events and that type of stuff, that's completely up to you. But at the very least, I say go park on the beach for a couple days, check out what the shoreline is like, and definitely do yourself a favor and spend some time at the show. Now, I do want to update people on a Jeep that I've been getting a lot of questions about, and that is my 2020 Jeep Gladiator Rubicon. This is my Gator Gladiator build. It's got a 3-inch lift and 38s, and yes, I have been actively working on it over the past few months, and there will be some update videos coming soon. It's now got different differential gears. It's obviously got a new front bumper and winch, and a few other mods to make it, let's just say, summer ready. Well, I appreciate you guys watching, and if you have any questions, be sure to drop them in the comments. If you want to see some stuff I'm working on behind the scenes, you can find me on all social media platforms at Ali Mansour Editor. Until next time, I hope to see you guys on the trail. Take care.